The views and opinions expressed on Live at the Barbershop are entirely those of the host, guest, and caller and do not reflect the opinions of Live at the Barbershop or its staff. Viewers' discretion is advised. The following podcast is intended for mature audiences only and contains adult contents, graphic language, strong sexual content, and a whole lot of shit talking. So in other words, get your kids out the room.
Live, here we go at the Barbershop with your hosts, Nisha J, Aaliyah, Black Republican, and those two crazy Caribbean guys from the Q&N show, Norris and Q. And now, the man of the hour, Mr. HNIC, Mr. Sleep When You're Dead, Hustle Now, the magnificent.
Yo, son. What's up with all that?
I was just trying to amp it up, you know, like...
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, all right, I'm with that.
John, live at the Barbershop Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
What's up? You catch me off guard there, man. It's another beautiful night down the 305, man. What's that? You good?
Yeah, man, we good.
We're good. We're back in the shop again, man. We're back in the shop.
Be here too long, you know. Your best friend's coming.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna do the switch out. All right. We ain't seen Bob in a minute.
Oh my God. Bob is in the building tonight. That's gonna be a problem for me, man. But we're here to chop it up tonight again. It's the Barbershop and we're live in the 305. It's a beautiful night down here, man. It's a little bit warm, but we love it. It's beautiful. Man, I'm your boy Q, man. I'm not gonna do no. We got a star in the building tonight, man.
Special guest.
We got a star in the building tonight, man. Should we say Mr. R? We should just bring him down as. Let him introduce himself. The one and only.
What's going on, everybody? It's Gil, content creator. Just Gil. Love content creation. I love technology, and I'm happy to be here.
Black Tony Stark, y'all.
Black Tony Stark.
What's up, baby? It's Madness back in the building.
Yeah.
We got Black IT on the ones and twos right now.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, that's the man there on the board, man. I hope he doesn't bring in Bob tonight, though. Bob is trouble, man.
I got to meet Bob. I never met Bob.
Oh my God. Well, Bob. Yeah, Bob will be in the building tonight, man. But
it looks like the big boss is in here too. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring him in.
John,
CEO.
all the way out there, man.
Let's get it, baby.
Yo.
Yeah, we're looking at big shoes right now.
You can hear me?
But we can't see him.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I know
Mr. Lightkin, we
kinda-
can't hear you. We
the
can't
lighting
see
is
you,
kinda
man.
off right now, but I had to take you over here to this. Check this out.
Yeah.
Boy's on vacation for
Yeah.
real, boy.
Yeah,
You see that thing in the background?
slightly?
Got a building?
He's stunting on us right now, man.
Can't see
Where is
nothing?
that?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
They say I'm from the Lou and I'm proud. That's what they say.
Uh-oh.
I'm in St. Louis right now on that BI.
You gotta let me know how Nelly doing over there, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's
And
hard.
before we go any further, man, I want to give some shout outs. Some friends of mine in last week. I was in New York City, man.
Okay.
Sandre, Sunil,
So hold on.
respect, man. I was out there in New York City, man. It's beautiful, man, in the summer out there, man.
I'm gonna let.
It's all barbecue, man.
I'm gonna let Bob Henry. You know what?
You-
You know what I'm saying?
no.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let Bob Henry.
Yeah, we all barbecue in the 305 Miami, man, but it's different in New York, man. It's just everybody was outside in New York, man. It's so beautiful, man. So it's beautiful. All right, we're gonna chop it up now, man. Madness,
Yes, sir.
what you got for them tonight, man?
Oh man, I didn't know how we should title this one here, but I don't know. Last minute I came up with unpacking modern day racism.
Wow.
Okay. More particularly, the case of oh man, I'm gonna mess his last name up, I'm sure. Ralph Ural. Okay, young man, 16 years old.
Yeah.
Y'all familiar with
I
that?
heard about that.
Yeah, we heard about that one.
Sad.
Knocked on the wrong door, took 2 bullets, man. He went to pick up. Initially, he was going to pick up his twin brothers, right? He got 2 young twin brothers, and I guess he got the address mixed up.
It was court instead of street.
Or something like that.
Yeah, court instead of street.
And not on this. The dude whose door he knocked on is an elderly white man by the name of Bernard Lester, or Lester Bernard. Don't quote me on the last name now. I have to go back, and I got a lot of stuff saved up here.
Yeah.
But anyway, the dude said to him, "Don't come here again."
After shooting him.
No, and then let off the first shot.
Wow.
Through the door. He didn't open the door or anything. Just shot straight through the door. First shot hit him in the head. The kid turned around, took another shot in his arm. Went on frantically yelling for help. And people was turning him away, man.
Yeah.
Young black man. They were turning him away, dog. I want to say it was the third person, the third house he was able to make contact with. That's who notified the officials. Yeah. Something's going on here. I got a kid out here bleeding. Rough stuff.
Kids, a young child who's just starting out in the world, they get their first experience not only with racism but with death, and nobody's out there to help them out.
Yeah,
they kind of have a mistrust for society at this point. I'm pretty sure at this point,
Andrew. My apologies, y'all. It's Andrew Lester. That's his name.
Okay,
Andrew Lester.
The kid,
85-year-old. No,
the kid is Bernard.
No. Okay. The kid is Ural.
So I'm pretty sure Ural is a young child, and he's probably thinking, nobody cares about me. Like, I'm pretty sure the neighbors were black, white, Asian, Hispanic.
Yeah.
Jacksonville said it was like the not the first home, but the second or the third home.
Third home.
Third home was the one that kind of allowed him to receive help. And that's just crazy. Imagine if that third home was the 7th. Was it 8th?
Yeah.
Or there was no third home.
There's no third home.
You know, because depending on those shots, like it could have been fatal. For anyone else, those would be fatal shots. He got a headshot and a shot in the arm off, man. Like this kid was severely wounded.
Yeah. Also, I see an interview with the elderly guy. His grandson was actually going real hard on him. You know, saying this leads up from racial situation.
Yeah.
So they were asking his grandson why he's coming at his grandfather like that, but this is what he sees around him each time at home. You know, these are things that talk in the house, and he sees, and he's just they're keeping all these things in. But you know, it's crazy that these people still going on like that racism at that age.
You know, the thing is too, I have a friend of mine whose son was recently in a horrific car accident, a hit and run car accident. He's of Vietnamese descent.
Okay.
So he's Asian American. The kid is probably like 17, 18 years old. Horrific car accident and hit and run. He's delirious, gets outside the car, bleeding, blistering, trying to ask for help. His phone is dead. Doesn't know where he is. Walking to stores, asking people for help. And it's the same scenario with Ralph where people just do not want to be bothered by it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the father. He's a friend of mine. He's like, you know, there's several times where I said, you know, racism doesn't exist, or that's like something from the past.
Yeah.
And here his child, he's like, dude, my son was born here. He doesn't look like everybody else, but he's asking for help.
Yeah.
He didn't receive it. It was maybe a convenience store employee that said, all right, let me just get this kid some help. I can't really fathom the idea of you basically asking for help.
Yeah.
It's not being received.
And being turned down.
And being turned down because somebody might perceive it to be a threat. Yeah. Because you don't look like them, or because they think I might get scammed, or this kid might try to rob me, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna double back on that in a second, Gil, but I want to bring in one more host.
Yeah.
Our political host.
Yeah,
Yo.
Who is that?
Oh boy, he's sharp this week, man. He doesn't wait for the introduction, Mr. Republican.
Good, what's good? You know, this is Black Republican in the building.
I see you, boy.
What's up,
Yeah,
family?
What's going on?
Chilling. Gil
What's
in the
up?
shop. What's good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
What
yeah,
is
yeah.
going on, huh?
It's all
The
blessing,
boss is
man.
on
I'm feeling
vacation.
big
Yeah.
shoes right now, man.
Yeah.
Hold
Oh
on,
my
hold
God.
on. Yo, why John look like he in Paris? What's going on
That's
here?
what I was saying, man.
I don't know. He tried to keep that background like the Paris, you know, that thing in
man, the
Paris.
arch. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the lowest, man. He's that Nelly stuff thing, man.
Be quiet, Q.
Big money right now.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you
Bob
boy.
just came
Hey,
in.
I'm
Yo, what up?
gonna
Oh
tell
my
you something.
What up,
God.
Bob?
Yeah.
This
What's
this
going
is
on, everybody? Hey,
We're
hey,
gonna have some fun tonight.
hey.
You hear all that commotion, man? Bob
be
is
quiet.
in the building.
I heard you was talking about me, Q.
Oh man, they got a reunion going on over here
I
now.
heard you talking about me, Q.
Yeah, it's a cave tonight.
Hey,
It's a cave.
Bob said he had enough, man.
Hey,
Mm-mm.
I heard you was in New York. What
Yeah,
you doing there?
it was beautiful, man.
What part?
Huh?
What part?
I was everywhere, man.
What part?
I was in Brooklyn.
Bro.
I was in Mount Vernon. I was in Connecticut.
All right, too
I
much
was in
information.
Rhode
I don't
Island.
wanna
Through here, boy. They don't stop.
We keep going, man.
Hey, Black Republican.
Yo,
What they do?
chilling. What's up, Bob? What's good, man? Hey, man, I heard they had some high waves,
Hello,
man.
Bob. Nice meeting you, man.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Don't worry about the other guy.
Oh
The other
man,
guy on the bottom, huh? Oh, I'm forgetting.
Bob said he done hijacked the studio again.
Hey, Mr. St. Louis, we're gonna go back to Mr. St. Louis with the topic we were talking about, man.
What you guys talking
John, what are we gonna talk about?
Talking about
Ralph Euro.
Ralph Fury,
Yeah,
man.
16-year-old shot,
Yeah,
knocked on the
yeah.
wrong door.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh
yeah, clear.
I know I'm it's kind of I got a little traffic around me right now, but
Yeah, that's what Q said about me. Huh? Yeah, Q, remember? Last week? Yeah, remember? Traffic? I'm here today, baby. Yeah, all right. Go ahead,
Tripping.
John. Sorry about that.
It's disturbing because you think about your own kids or your niece, your nephews, I mean, or cousins and different things like that, and you would hope that someone would be there for them if something like this happened. Right now, out here in St. Louis, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. It's like the OK Corral out here right now, and the problem with this is the system itself, and we talk about it all the time on this program about programming and how we get this pre-notion situation that we're all out here doing the wrong things, and the systemic racism, like Q mentioned, the grandson, I applaud him for, he could be siding with his grandfather and making excuses, but at least he stepped up and said he knew something like this was going to happen because his grandfather had those racist intentions.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it would have been anyone that day. That's the sad part about it. It would have been anyone that day. The thing that I would want to move forward in is finding out, for we as a people, we need to take back the respect level. We need to get the respect level back on our side now and start dealing with a lot of things in our own neighborhood, because the problem with this type of stuff, the racism half of things is never really gonna diminish. It's not gonna go away. It's good to know that there are some younger people that are starting to see things different. They're not being trained like their grandfathers were trained by their grandfathers and stuff like that. So that's good to know. But the bad part about it now is that everything that we are trying to clean up, someone else is corrupted. You see what I'm saying? Like right now where I'm at in St. Louis, that is happening now, where I met some beautiful people. So shout out to like Tony, Corey, Big Mama's spot, different places that I've been to. where I've been hearing different stories like similar where they're trying to do good in their community and trying to make changes. But then you turn on the news the other day, they had a football game out here, and these kids just shot up the football game. And we're trying to move in another direction, trying to take those stereotypes away. But every time I walk the streets and I talk to blacks, whites, you have the pre-notion that if I go over that side of the street, this is gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's a problem because good citizens like yourself, myself, we get entangled in that. We get roped up in it. Like we're part of that system, and we're not. And it's trying to find that middle ground is where the difficult part of it comes, because they are not trying to make a middle ground. Right now, the gun laws over here, you got young kids walking the street with choppers.
Wow. Wow.
Like,
Yeah, see,
But that's
from
what
what
they
I've
want.
seen with St. Louis, man, they don't have anything else to do over there, man.
and that's another problem too.
Yeah.
That's another problem. And not to deter from the
That
main
idle
topic,
mind.
but the problem is all these things are connected to each other. You see what I'm saying? The racist portion of things, that will be here until
Yeah. It's not going away. It's never
And
gonna
then this
go
is
away.
not an isolated situation. This has been going on for years now, right here. What was it?
Yeah,
Tamir Rice, the one they said was a 12-year-old man or something like that. A 12-year-old in an adult body or something like that. Trayvon Martin was another situation.
Yeah.
This thing has been going on for a while, man.
Yeah,
but
we could go on forever. It's gonna stay.
The problem is too, man. You got to think a lot of the politicians and people that are sitting in these offices, they're getting paid from all of this chaos. You get what I'm saying? To bring in their police systems. Like you see what happened when they were doing the mass shooting stuff. The individual that was behind a lot of the awareness of it was also invested in a how would you call it, a body scanning company. So now all of a sudden now they're like, oh, mass shootings are happening everywhere. You know what I mean? We're gonna start installing body scanners in the stadiums, into like large facilities where like Vegas type areas. You know what I mean? They wanted to put body scanners in schools. You know what I'm saying? Which some schools do have that in there. So I just find it very odd that this individual is highly invested in this type of company, but yet he's also invested into, he's also appointed in the area where that's supposed to be dealing with gun laws and security and all of that. You get what I'm saying? Because if you look at like South America and a lot of third world places, when you start seeing the gangs running everywhere, doing whatever they want, normally it's time for election. Normally it's time for a power exchange. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean,
there's a huge warning on Americans traveling to Haiti right now. You get what I'm saying? Huge warning because of what's going on.
It's a play, like in sports, it's a play that a lot of people run. Oh, just build a gang and have a rival gang here and just have this and that.
They're getting funded. They're getting weapons funded. They're a lot of them are going in and they're allowed to sit in jail because they're protected. And then what they do is they allow the kids to run the streets because the kids are too young, you know what I'm saying, to get hit by the laws. And they just come in and run right back out. Because a lot of these individuals, they're getting paid under the table as well. Look at Chicago. A judge years back prosecuted a guy on a homicide case. And come to find out, the gun he used to shot the person was the judge's father's gun that he turned in. Yeah. He turned in the gun to be destroyed, and that gun ended up in the criminal's hands to shoot another person. So he was like, how does this even happen? So that means the police is involved with flooding the streets because what can happen now? The police said, oh, it's so bad, it's so dangerous. We need a raise because we can't police this. We need better equipment. We need stronger weapons. We need, you know what I mean? It's a game they're all playing. And what they're doing is they're using the system, how the system is set up. They're using it so they can get paid out.
Yeah, I've seen this so many times, like in the Caribbean, like Jamaica, Haiti. You would wonder, Haiti need more food than anything else and shelter, but so many guns and supply goes in. It's like sending food to your family in Jamaica. And when you send that food to your family in Jamaica, it goes through so much process and money to pay for that. But so many guns in the country.
The guns coming easy.
Oh, the gun. Yeah, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
And Jamaica don't make a single bullet or a gun. So how they get all of that? Flooded.
Oh man.
I'm talking about brand new, just like it came straight out the factory. How did
so would you say that the system or this infrastructure it lubricates mass incarceration, gun violence, gang violence? It's easy to push that into the community or culture than it is to like build a community center to teach kids or adults trades.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. Without a doubt, we know that. Yeah.
It's a business for them. You see how the pharmaceuticals can turn around, right? Bribe off the FDA and get a certain drug or something passed in, right? And then down the road, it kill a whole bunch of people. And then those same pharmaceutical companies now turn around and say, oh man, because there's so many affected people of this, this new disease that's going around, which they caused, they're going to turn around and say, oh, well, we need government support to come up with a vaccine or to come up with another drug that's going to aid into that. So all they do is they create a scenario where they can perpetually gain funds or gain power or gain access, to the infrastructure. So that way they could constantly keep that cycling. They're not here to stop gun violence. They're not here to rebirth the community. They're not here. Look what happened. Nipsey Hussle started. He was about to create a program that was going to bring the gangs together. He was going to unite them all and build a recovery program through local businesses for those gangs, because he was going to buy out a whole plaza. Him and his crew was going to start bringing them in and doing recovery programs in order to get them back into the system, because he said that's one of the things they're missing in their areas is there's no proper system of recovery from prison or gang back to reality. You get what I'm saying? So he was building that, and what ended up happening? They were sending him death threats. They were sending him warnings. And then come to find out, they murdered dude. The guy that killed him had affiliations. But what ends up also happening too is a lot of individuals that was tied with him also got murked or also went missing. And then because of that situation, the investigation went in. And what did they find? Los Angeles had a whole system called lasers, where it was I think it was like Los Angeles Security, what was it called? Enforcement Response Team or something like that. But what they did is they set it up that these systems were set only for specific communities. You get what I'm saying? Specific communities in areas that are flooded with private prisons. You get what I'm saying? So they're flooded with private prisons. And then what ends up happening now, remember, a lot of people don't realize this. Because of those prisons are private, they're not owned by the state. Someone somewhere in another country or a company or whoever runs that prison. And they tell the state, hey, we need this place to be filled or have an occupancy level of 60% or more or 90%. Some are way up there. So think about that. And then they're allowed now to transport people from state to state. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now if a state don't have enough people, what are they going to do? Transport them. So if you have areas that are just beyond ridiculous, it's a breeding ground for those other prisons in those other states. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So this stuff is never going to go away until the actual situation is addressed.
And see, that's what I was going to ask you now is, and this is for you. Is there a way to rehab the community similar to what Nipsey was doing and not get Nipsey's result?
Yes.
Somehow creating the YMCA, just little group things. Like we used to have all these things when I was growing up.
Because we had more leadership. We had more men willing to risk their life for the community. Nipsey was willing to risk his life. Tupac was willing to risk his life. You know what I mean? There's a lot of individuals that was willing to risk their life, to put their life on the line because they understood that their influence can produce more. So they knew their purpose, and they said, I'm willing to use that purpose for the betterment of my people. But the issue with it,
some of these places are dear, but they're not really funding.
No, what I'm saying is, even with Nipsey Hussle being an influential rapper and all his entrepreneur endeavors, there are other ways that you can actually do this madness, in the sense of like getting in contact with your state representatives, understanding who they are, understanding what they're capable of doing. I got in touch with Dottie Joseph, who's our House representative for Florida. You have Marie Woodson, who represents Hollywood. So it's like, these people aren't hard to find. You just listen to them whenever they have speech and engagements, contact them, voice your concerns, and maybe you can start doing a Nipsey Hussle route or Jay-Z route in your community, and it doesn't have to result in violence because you got the state behind it.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so you say, Raleigh, you do these things without their...
No, I would speak to them and ask them, what are the ways that we can actually get this situated, and tell them and voice your opinions about what you're seeing in your community, because you're in it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he went that route, but I'm just saying.
he did go that route. He went that route with a lot of the heads that was in there, as far as that's how he was able to sit down, you know what I mean, with the community heads, as far as leadership wise, you know, governors and stuff like that, to create this program. You get what I'm saying? This rehabilitation program, because he went through the necessary channels, because he was a kid coming up from the street. Yeah, I mean, he was affiliated. He was all of that. You get what I'm saying? So because he understood the route and the direction that the system can take you, and he recovered from it, he wanted to also bring others into that recovery. You get what I'm saying? But the issue with it is that when you have a system or a state that profits from the downfall of communities, you now have to understand that those individuals that are in place, find out how long have they been there, what are they doing to change these paths, and if they're not doing these things, we now have to think internal and say, okay, let's build our forces internally, so that way we can have buying power to actually pay these people. Because the issue with it is, you have lobbyists that are going into those areas, sitting down with Congress, sitting down with the Senate, and they're going in and they're lobbying for these corporations. They're lobbying for these private prisons. They're lobbying for other countries to make our laws lax, you know, to lax our laws, or to create stricter things. Because remember, not too long ago now, these same governments were the ones that brought in the drugs and then punished people and called them super predators. So that way, but then it was okay for Hollywood to be cocained out. You feel what I'm saying? But it wasn't okay for the streets to be cracked out. But remember, you can't get cracked if you don't have cocaine.
The cocaine.
So Hollywood can live the lifestyle, crash cars into buildings, and get a slap on the wrist. But a dude's going away for prison for 10 plus years for a little baggie? Come on, man. You get what I'm saying? You know how much it takes to produce crack rocks? It takes a lot of cocaine to produce that, because it's the byproduct of it. You know what I mean? But because they didn't want to lose out on profit.
Like an expert over here, man. I don't know.
You got
right now, player.
You got no, but here's the thing, though. You got to do your research to understand this around.
I don't want to research that. I don't want.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to double back. I mentioned this to Giller that I was going to spin back around on this thing. In the sense of the door to door, right? This guy is bleeding, right? Going door to door. He made it to the third house. Was able to get some assistance. Now, there's a trending topic right now. We really wasn't going to touch on it, but they kind of correlate with one another, where this same thing happened. Young lady claims somebody tried to get her number. She told him no, and then she caught a brick to the side of her face. Wow. Okay.
Anybody saw the witness video?
Oh, I saw a couple of the follow-ups where two of the witnesses spoke out on it. And it was like, man, this chick, for lack of better words, is trash. She was going around smacking on white men at some point or another. She just antagonizes people. She's a horrible individual in their community.
They say she do that for her social media. She has a content where she does that. She antagonizes guys to see if they would slap her, and then she would slap them to see what their reaction would be. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's some serious things she's doing though.
Yeah.
But
and then you've seen what else was going on with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last time I checked, it was like $35K, man, on her GoFundMe.
Yeah. No,
they're referring to her as a scammer. She does these little things, man, to get some type of feedback, and then she go and cry wolf.
Man, listen, man, these females go
for the bag. I don't think it's just females. I feel like it's just people using racism as a vehicle to manipulate people. Like, oh man, this company, they didn't let me stay past 10 o'clock. They closed at 10, but if I was white, they'll let me stay. Like, then you get a GoFundMe because you're saying that he's racist.
Discriminated.
Now the company bends over, for lack of better terms, because they don't want to be in the social media world. Like,
I mean,
their reputation is everything.
Anything for the problem.
The problem with it is that people are starting to remember their individuality. They want you to be in a constant state of victim mindset, because a industry cannot use an independent mind. You have to be already victimized so that way they can groom you to control. You get what I'm saying? So when they got these individuals coming in, they're funding these people. They're boosting them up so that way they can be supported more. Like, look at Shorty that put the Gorilla Glue in her hair. Like, you knew what you weren't supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? And then what did she do? She put up a GoFundMe and was getting mad money off of that. And they were spreading her news all over the place as if it was like the second coming of Jesus or something. I'm like, yo, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
This was a self-inflicted gunshot wound, man. Ultimately, like she did that.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's the same thing with this shorty.
Forgot all about that Gorilla Glue.
What people don't understand. What people don't understand about this shorty right here, her name, she changed her name to Rhoda Bash, right?
Okay.
But so her original name, she's a Muslim from Somalia. Original name is Rhoda Hassan Osman. You get what I'm saying? And they don't play that kind of stuff in the community. But since she immigrated over to Texas, she's been on this Black Girl Magic, Black Girl New Age, you know what I mean, feminist push, where she had videos out where she's talking about how men don't provide any protection. Men don't do anything for the community.
Push, though.
No. That's what she was doing. That's what she said out of her own mouth. She was talking about how.
The thing. It's like, I would say, me and Madness, man, we doing all these things. Man is like, I don't do all that.
I'm not rocking.
I'm not rocking with this guy.
No. But the issue, because feminists, I watched a feminist TED Talk on it, where she said that the neo feminism is destroying the work that feminism built.
I feel like neo would be a term that people use to say there's something new, but there was no press conference meeting. Hey, we're moving old feminism to new feminism.
But that's why she said neo feminism, because it's kind of like saying it's new age or it's a new form of something. You know what I mean? Like neo-colonialism. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, but it's just like a bastardized, amped up version of it.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people throw labels on things, even when they're not entirely a part of it, but they understand that if I say that I'm a part of this, nobody's going to check for me. If I say I'm a black belt, nobody's going to be like, I don't want to test it. It's a black belt. Like people saying that they're a feminist, I feel like it's just a label that's thrown on there so that nobody can speak against it. Hey, I'm a feminist. Oh, I can't really say anything bad about women in front of this guy because he's a feminist. It's just some mask that people wear to enable them to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I checked on her socials. She had, before this whole incident happened, man, she had people coming at her left or right, even black women, because she went on a tirade saying how black women are just upset that she said that black women are upset or haters because the trans community are doing better than them.
You know what I call people like that? I have no ill will towards people like this. I call her an emotional grifter. She just piggybacks on what people are upset about, and she'll just say, "Hey, let me pretty much get everybody to side with me by just piggyback on this scenario, piggyback on this thing." I'm pretty sure I don't want to speak it. I'm pretty sure if Haiti were to experience an atrocity, she'll say that she's part Haitian because she'll be able to get clout out of being a part of this community.
Yeah, being able to run with their narrative.
Exactly.
And that's what those two guys was talking about. They were saying, why would we stand up for an individual that go out of their way to look for trouble? You know what I mean? Why would we put ourselves in the front of the harm's way for someone like this? You know, she's not humble.
But see, watch this, Blacks, and this is why I wanted to come back around to that.
She's benefiting from it.
This is why I wanted to come back around to it, because it's getting to a point now where we don't know who we should be trying to save. You get what I'm saying? Like her situation, let's say I wasn't there when she got hit with the brick, just like I wasn't there when Yara was shot. I wasn't there, but if he knocked on my door, I have to now make an executive decision on, am I going to do something to save this kid, or am I going to send him back in the streets? Same rules apply with Shorty. You see this woman walking up, her face is swollen, and she's like, "Oh, he hit me with a brick. He hit me." I don't know who he or you are, who he is or who you are, but I have a decision to make now. I can reach out to somebody for her. I can go out into the world and try to defend her, throw my family away like these guys was talking about, or just ignore it altogether. Hey, look, get away from me. Move, kid. Move, lady. I don't want nothing to do with what you got going on.
See, let me jump on that real quick. Part of the problem with everything is holding people accountable.
Pause. What? Oh man. Pause. I can't really. What you saying? You missed it. Nah, man. You was talking about jumping on something. We don't need any of that right now. Right.
All right, fast forward.
Oh man.
No more pausing, just fast forward that one then.
Oh, you say fast forward. All right.
But part of the problem with that whole thing, that whole scenario that we were talking about, it's the catch-22 with a lot of things. So now with the young man, what I would like to know is that neighborhood, because I would hope that some of those people that didn't open their doors, I'm hoping that they weren't black people. That's one.
When you hear these type of things.
Well, I mean, but you got to think though. How many situations you got where people are just running up on people, shooting each other? But that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, let me finish the point real quick. And again, now the second part of it is, again, even if there were some blacks, because of how things are now in a lot of these neighborhoods, some people are reluctant because they don't know if someone is scamming to try and get in your house. They don't know,
don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna talk about an incident that happened out here. There's some females that was going around jacking dudes.
Yeah.
Right? Now this is a female situation. It's a whole, I think it was 4 of them right now that was going out and just hitting dudes up. Dope boys, regular heads, they was just getting them until they messed with the wrong one. That dude annihilated all of them. You see what I'm saying? So now it's not even something where you have to worry about just men. The females are just as dangerous, if not more dangerous than the dudes now.
And kids too.
Situations like these and scenarios like this, it's kind of, I'm not saying what happened to the young man is right, but I'm saying sometimes because of these situations that keep going on, and that's why I said it's something where we have to work harder at cleaning up this type of stuff. Multi Killer had said something the other day about Seaview and certain areas back home. We in the community have to start saying we're not tolerating these things. We don't want this in our community.
I agree with that.
And going back to what you said in the beginning, as far as we putting it out or cleaning it up, it can only happen if we all band together. You as one individual going out and trying to get the dope boys out and get the prostitutes out.
John,
it's gonna be a hard thing. It has to start somewhere. But like Gil said, hit those representatives, hit the councilmen, hit all these judges, hit these people that you're paying to clean up and help do these things.
Hey, John, the thing is that a lot of people don't do is they don't have a clear message. They're not hitting up these representatives with a unified front. It's, hey, I'm I don't know what they call it, neo-feminist. Hey, I run an asthma thing where bow-legged people have asthma. I'm running for black bow-legged people. I'm running for straight-legged black people. I'm running, and there's no unified front. And of course, there's power in diversity. Yeah. The thing is, when we all come together and we all can set aside our differences and say, we don't want our children or any children to knock on any door and not get turned away. Be turned away, not just turned away, shot.
Yeah.
Like that's shot. Like no kid should go knock on the door. I think this is the house and just not, oh, wrong door. Oh, sorry. You know where 1620 Court Place is? Oh no, this is street. Courts around the way. You won't, as a matter of fact, I can drive you. I wish we could live in a society where that could be the norm, where, hey, I'll drive you over there. That's so-and-so neighborhood. Every neighbor knows everybody. Like Court Street, how far is that? Enough to where the neighbor don't know who the hell this kid is.
Yeah.
You see, and this is why this goes back into the racism element, because it wasn't that the neighbor didn't know where this address was. He never even got to ask him the address. He just automatically, the words he said in the report was he was scared to death. This beastie kid, he said the man that approached his door was over 6 feet tall
and ring his doorbell.
Ralph Ural was 5'8", 140 pounds.
The young man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. Elderly old white guy in fear of his life. Right. The first thing that he thought of was putting a bullet in this kid, man. Like that doesn't make any sense.
You know, I don't want to change the narrative here, but this kind of goes back to how well is your mental constitution? You have not Mitt Romney, but what's the gentleman who basically like went out and just stood still recently?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but you have Joe Biden.
Come on, blacks, you know who it is.
You have.
You talking about who? Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell, Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, a robot, man.
Joe Biden just standing there. Like, where are his mental faculties?
They need to go, bro.
And how old was
85 years old?
The gentleman was 85, so pretty much he's Mitch McConnell. He's pretty much Joe Biden with a firearm.
With 32 revolver.
And then they're in a state that is farming paranoia. You know what I'm saying? Because they're literally telling cops to stand down. Police aren't even able to do certain things. You know what I mean? And then when you respond in a way, you're being punished. So they're just like how California is like, oh, just leave your car door open.
Like what?
That's
the thing.
Then they're telling people that, oh, that this certain type of laws we're not gonna focus on because we're too busy doing this. Why would you make that public? Why would you make that public? You know what I mean? So now you got laws, you got people now that are afraid to even drive into their garage, because as soon as they're driving in their garage, somebody's sliding under it. You get what I'm saying? You had one guy, he got arrested because he shot at the kids that came under his garage because they said he was firing in the public area. And he's like, what am I supposed to do?
So what will it take for everybody what will it take for everybody here? Because it's a group of room of black men. We all have families. What will it take for each of us, if we represent a community, for all of us to get together, band together with one unified front to basically go to the state? Hey, this is our concerns. These are our issues. And we want this resolved. We are business owners. We are tax payers. We're American citizen. Q, I don't know about you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, for life.
What will it take to get together and like come up with a plan? What will it take?
Well,
yeah.
How many more?
We're gonna have to.
How many more Trayvon Martins are we gonna have? How many more?
We're gonna no, but the thing is, we're gonna have to police our own neighborhoods, man. Because the issue with it is the mentality of our people are very ignorant.
Oh Jesus! You take the word out of my mouth, man.
They're very ignorant, and immature. You get what I'm saying?
Hey,
that's the mental of our people.
Gil,
yo,
check this out. You see what you said? What is it gonna take for everyone? Let me tell you something.
Time.
I was trying to get a speed bump on my block. Okay.
Hey, for as long as I know this man, he's been trying to get that speed bump.
A speed bump on my block.
No joke. I almost got ran over in here today. I'm parked on your curb. I'm parked on your curb right now, and this guy literally zoomed.
They look. Some of them, when I went and knocked on a couple of their doors, some of them were new on the block. So, but at the same time, you knock on their door, you tell them, "Hey, how you doing? I live right here at that house. I've been on the block for X amount of years. I'm trying to get a speed bump put on the block." They're looking at you like you're asking for their firstborn. So it's a very difficult thing just for people. You see, if there's not a mass situation or a celebrity or something behind it, it is a difficult thing in our community nowadays just to get them to come out and rally for something. If there's no self-gratification or some sort of celebrity that they could touch or to say that they went and saw that person. The unfortunate part of it, they programmed us to be that way. So when it comes time for us to unite as one united front, like you just said, it's a difficult thing. Right. It's like that exodus right now. It's, it's a very difficult thing.
John, we're gonna do it like when we're there yard. We just get a couple bags of cement and build it night.
Yo, but we were down. We were down in Liberty
City. The
City.
equipment together, pull up at that resident, put down some cement, create their own speed bump.
On the street, yeah.
Now we just we were down in Liberty City, right, cleaning up doing like a community cleanup, and I'm talking about areas right by the school. There's like a bus stop there, and literally you could see syringes on the ground, you could see like condom wrappers, you could see just stuff everywhere. And we got trash bags, we got the community to bring in to drop off like a large dumpster so we could throw everything in. And as we're doing this, you got the community just sitting there just looking at you. Then you got women, they're walking past you, and they looking at you like, why y'all doing that? And you're just looking at them like, what she just asked us?
Hey, listen,
like
Labor Day in the islands, especially at Jamaica, Labor Day situation is you clean up your community.
Yeah.
You clean the street, you sweep the street, you cut the bushes. That's what we do. Labor Day in America is barbecuing.
But everything is waste of time. Everything is waste of time. Yeah. It's waste time and spend money and give the government as much of your money as possible.
Yeah.
Every single holiday is revolving around spending your money and giving it back to the government. Don't do nothing with your time. Don't be productive. Just give us that money, and then they build a theme around it. Nothing has
not everybody, John ain't in that spending thing.
Hey, this dude balling.
Hey, Bob, hit that button.
Something. No, when they say about spending and wasting time, John is doing some work, man.
Man. To fill up my tank.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but that's John, man. But for real, though.
But the thing is, the difference between the 90s and now and the early 2000s is black people police their own areas. We were policing our block. You get what I'm saying?
You know
we used to break our foot off when people asked when they brought certain things. No. See, that's another thing.
That's what you used to be called informer.
No.
If you see something and say something.
But
we talk about this a lot.
Oh yeah.
But what what we call policing in our own neighborhood. Where our own people call it snitch and informers.
You got it.
Oh, well, yeah, but the issue, and that's another thing too. This is why I say our people are ignorant. Because if you are not a part of that world, the snitching laws don't fall on you. You're a civilian. If you are in that world and you're doing something reckless enough to where the civilians know what you're doing, then you're a reckless individual.
Yeah.
And you're gonna bring the heat back. In that kind of world, no one wants the heat. They want to do everything in secrecy. No one's supposed to know what anybody's doing. They washing it in the back. They doing what they doing. They looking like a whole business. You get what I'm saying? You're not supposed to know about what's going on behind the scenes. But if there's someone out there, got the flashy suit on, don't work a day in his life, driving a Maserati, you know what I'm saying? You bring in all the heat. Where are you getting this from? You get what I'm saying? So now if the problem is these heads, they're celebrities now. These gangsters, these thugs, they're celebrities now. You get what I'm saying? They're flashy. The media is pumping them up. So they're so dumb that they don't even realize that what the media is doing is the media gave you a platform to be an idiot. So and then the FBI is just doing this, just stacking your charges, stacking your charges.
Republican, that basically goes to what Art said in his second comment. If we are focused on the individuals who have oppressed and all unite against, was it right there?
Yeah.
I forgot where I'm at now.
Against the oppressor.
So why aren't we? Why aren't we rising up against the oppressor? The thing is, what Black Republican just brought up, they create their own problems. Like somebody would say, well, I'm a feminist and the color pink is feminine. How dare madness wear a fuchsia pink thing? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Salmon.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm feminist. How dare you represent my color? But then guess what? I'm also a black man.
Me up.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But I'm a black man and I'm a feminist, so I claim these colors. So now, on top of the foundational problems that I already have, is as a black man, I get these false issues, these false narratives, problems that don't push the needle forward, but they kind of regress the needle and took to the point where it ends up impaling me and hurting my progression, not only as a black man, but also as a leader. Now I'm worried about something that doesn't really mean anything. And that's what ends up happening. So now there's me times a multitude of issues where some guys like he's, biracial. He's bisexual. This guy is atheist. He's a satanic. He's a shaman worshiper. He's a druid. He's these people who create problems where I don't take pharmaceutical drugs. And it's like, well, hold on. Let's focus on one thing, but it's so hard because you have all these companies that are pretty much owned by the same company, BlackRock, that create all these other problems so that we can just get distracted. That way, we're not focusing on the real issue.
Distraction is distraction. Now, in this time, distraction. That's what we get most of right now. There is something going on that is really very interesting. Focus on, and it goes this way. What are you thinking about it?
Speak, huh? Then when you see it in the daylight, you're like, oh damn, that's really not.
Yeah, I know. See somebody come back with the pink stick.
Killing me, man.
Killing me. Yeah, Gil. I think he come at us tonight.
No, man.
Hey, Gil. On my camera, it looks hot pink though. I ain't gonna lie.
No, it's not pink, but on this thing here,
on our monitor.
No, that's a real man. Real men wear pink. That's what. That's the saying.
You know, the crazy thing is, I almost wore a color shirt just like that, but I was like, I gotta wear my thing out of consultation earlier.
Yeah, man, looking like new money right there, man. What is that branding on you, man?
Old money, man. It's,
where can I get one of those?
Embroidery. We can hit up MS Stitching. Is a company based in Pompano Beach, Florida. I'll be sure to leave the information here. That way we can shout them out.
All right, most deaf.
That's what's up.
I support it. All right, so how we doing this? In closing, getting there. John, what you got left, baby?
Mr. St. Louis.
Hey, look, I just want to see, I'm not too far from the news station right there, Channel 4.
Hey, tell him to step their game up, man.
You heard his news anchor voice when he said it. Hey, I'm up here on the news station, Channel 4.
Hey, listen. Oh, also, shout out to my man Parrish. I'm gonna bring him on. It's a graffiti artist. They had an event out here, tagging and doing graffiti over here. Apparently, he educated me on some stuff. In '92, apparently they had floodings out here, and they created like a levee walls and stuff. So they had. Shout out to Parrish from New Mexico. He came all the way from New Mexico for the event and whatnot. Also, so I'm gonna get him on the show also.
Okay.
Just do an old school segment on tagging and different things like that. But to close out, man, we have a lot of work ahead of us. To get things in order, get our neighborhoods back before it's out of hand. I mean, right now it is truly out of hand right now between Chicago, St. Louis, New York, a lot of these places, and it's by design, so I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's a hard task ahead of us, man, because coming up from when I came up to seeing what's going on now, we had guardian angels, we had people in the neighborhood, we had a village working with you. Now it's every man for himself.
Yeah.
And that's the problem where, for instance, a young man going to knock on every door, you got to go to the third door to get help. It's every man for themselves now. And everyone's only concerned with themselves. But like I always quote, from ever since I heard this from Bob Marley, it always stuck with me. The rain don't fall on one man's housetop. Just understand that. You're thinking it won't happen to you, but it will be your day one day.
Yeah.
When it fall, it won't fall on one man's housetop.
Yeah, that's why
powerful words, right?
Yeah.
That's why we can't leave these things out, because for the young man, you don't know when these things turns up at your door. You never know.
And especially for a lot of us that have kids. You have kids, you don't want your kids going through that.
Yeah.
You don't want your kids going through that. You know what I mean? So we have to try and do something. Right now, the platform we have, the stuff that Gil is doing, the stuff that we're doing, we're all uniting as one united front. The Circle of Brotherhood, all these different organizations, one united front.
Speaking of the Circle, anybody saw, I think it was like 1,000 Israelite brothers marching, all in unison, marching through neighborhoods, telling kids about, how they used to be on drugs and how they reformed and all of that. And not a single news station reported on it. I'm talking about it had to be like 1,000 of them, all uniformed up, just marching through neighborhoods. I'm talking about gang-ridden neighborhoods, just doing their thing. Not a single report.
But check this now. This is the same thing we talk about all the time. You won't find those type of stories on the Drink Champs. You won't find those type of stories on Revolt. You won't
anything
find
that's uplifting or motivating. No, you're not gonna see it.
Point being,
chaos is what sells.
I mean, well, we've unfortunately, I remember we used to kick out the coons out of our households. You know what I mean? We used to remove them. We used to call them clowns, jesters. Tell them to go chuck and jive out in the street somewhere. Now it's like they're a household figure. So who you think the kids are gonna listen to? Who you think they're gonna grow up and watch? You know what I mean? They're gonna grow up and watch these idiots because there's nothing. The other individuals that we're supposed to be propping up, we're ignoring and propping up this other nonsense. Yeah. So if you keep planting bad seeds in your soil, what you think's gonna grow out of it? You know what I mean? That's what we got to do. We got to root up all of this nonsense, get rid of it, put the spotlight on it, and say, here is what it's really doing. Because when I used to do community stuff, which I'm still on, but when I was heavy into it, a lot of these kids, man, it's like when I would sit there and I would talk to them, they would just be like, oh, word, oh, man. It's like they were entranced. And I'm like, how are they not getting this information? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just looking like, where are the parents? Where are the elders?
There's no communication at home at all.
Nothing.
See, that's why I'm grateful for the show, because that's something that we do here. We try to normalize effective communication. You know, show some level of empathy, right? For all ethnicities. It don't matter. Your pronoun, whatever, you know, times have gotten soft now where you got to kind of incorporate pronouns, right? I don't care, man, woman, dog, chicken, duck, whatever you claiming. We need to be able to communicate effectively, man.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Hey, we're not going to start this topic over.
Officer, you ready for that war,
you see that post?
No.
Look at that
Wait.
post.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
before I get going, I want to shout out a few people, a few nonprofits. Shout out to Baron McQueen. He has a nonprofit called Save the Creative. I got to link up with him today, and he pretty much teaches young content creators, photographers, models, DJs, rap artists, graphic artists, teach them how to get into this creative content creation game. Okay. He has an Instagram called Save the Creative Foundation. He also has a personal Instagram page, Baron McQueen. And shout out to Famous Angel. I got to meet him at my content creator production workshop. He has a podcast studio in Miami that I just left. It's called a Collab Studio Miami. You can do your photography, podcast production, and all that. And shout out to MVP Embroidery. They always make me right. I got several of my uniforms embroidered. They do screen printing, hats. They do all that. They're located in Miami, so not Miami, Pompano Beach. That's MVP Embroidery Corp on Instagram. So I just wanted to show some love to local people that are making a difference in our community.
Good stuff. Real quick with that, on that note, all the business owners out there, if you have your logo embroidered on your shirt, that is a tax write-off. Just keep that in mind, okay? You get a couple dollars back for that.
And also,
a lot of stuff you're gonna be doing too now.
I want to thank you for coming out and joining us tonight.
Yeah, man.
Very, very powerful, man. And the guy down in Miami with that studio, when I get back, I definitely want to check it out, because your podcast creation networking that you had the other day was very powerful, man. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to meet him.
Yeah.
So you got to meet Angel, and you got to meet Baron. Baron's the the black dude.
I remember him.
Yeah. So they're doing great things. Baron actually has a podcast called I forget the name of his podcast, but he's killing it too.
Definitely, I want to check it out when I get back down.
Hey, to everybody that's out there that's down in South Florida, don't forget, the rain is over, so that means your vehicle need to be washed. Check out on Instagram, all extreme detailing. Don't interrupt.
Yeah, drop that again, player.
All extreme detailing on Instagram, all right? Mobile detailer, the best in the biz, all right? You're never gonna have a better wash than that one.
Okay.
You gotta watch the truck.
Hey, that truck definitely need a slogan. You know what I'm saying? Extreme, detailing to the extreme, you definitely need that on cue.
You need to chat GPT with that detailing.
It's a chat GPT.
It needs some color first. It's no camouflage.
So we probably need to go all the way in, right?
It's camouflage now.
TKE graphics.
Hey,
right?
Brown and gray.
On that note, I'm gonna give y'all a fair welcome. Where I'm at, it's chilly out here. You heard?
You gotta get this on, man.
Come on, it's summer, man.
No, it ain't summer over here, okay?
Nah, hey, the cold season's starting for down there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you better hurry. You better hurry up and get back down to Florida.
Find the temperature.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Trust that.
Let me see.
All right.
What's the temperature?
Matter of fact, Gil, close out, Gil.
Very mild detailing.
Go out of the world and meet somebody. Do you do mild detailing?
Mild. We haven't discussed what mild is. All right. Hell, you got a free console coming.
All right, we got that free console coming up, guys.
All right. Gil, So no, you don't just
Wait,
you don't
so
just
what
hit
I
them
got
with
to close out?
You need to tell them where they can find us at, man.
Oh, hey, thank you for tuning in to the Live at the Barbershop. If you learned something and you want to consume more of our content, it's uplifting. We're building a community here. We have the needle to push forward. We're not trying to push back. Be sure to follow us everywhere on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Live at the Barbershop. And if you learned something, follow us, comment down below, and we'll see you next week, Friday.
Make sure you thank them. Make sure you thank them. Come on now.
Thank
yours.
I mean, I'm just here as a guest, but I'm worried about the barbershop. So
it's all
thanks for coming on. And you know, share this podcast if you learned something, took something away from this, share it.
All right. Now, so this is Madness. I'm signing off, right?
Hey, go out in the world and be somebody.
It's all love, baby.
I'm from the zoo,
be safe
and
out
I'm proud.
This dude here.
Get out of here, John. All
right, yo.
Hey, world.
I'ma holler.
Yeah, we see you, baby.
See you guys next week.
All right, yo.
Hey, Q, watch the truck.
Go out in the world and be somebody.